I swear this is the beginning of the video, guys, and he's dipping. He's out. He's out of the room. He's gone. He's gone. He's not wanting to talk about Pulev, the pie.
Are we recording?
We're
Are we live?
I did that on purpose.
I'm not trying to talk about Pulev the pie.
You were running because you didn't want to talk about Pulev the pie.
Let's get into the pie eating contest. Let's do this.
Well, let's talk about Spence and Danny Garcia.
Okay, before we talk about that, did you see the co-main event?
I did not.
There was a 6'6" junior middleweight.
Really?
Dude,
Grove here?
My man's legs, like 3 inches around. Now, I'm not even hyping. I've never seen legs that, like, they make John Jones calves look like PED calves.
Like Brock Lesnar legs.
What are we doing here?
No, I'll have to check that out. But it was a good fight?
Nah, it was a second round battering. But he won. So
he won.
Yeah.
So we'll see him versus Jarrett Hurd.
I was actually wanting that fight. I think Jarrett Hurd knocks him out because he's now ranked, I think, top 10 in a couple governing bodies. PBC is really trying to push him. He's second time he's been on one of their pay-per-views. Jarrett Hurd, man, make it happen. Can we get Jarrett Hurd back in the ring? It's been a while.
I know, the guy is one of my favorite top 5 boxers right now. Like right now, not of all time. And he just won't fight. Don't get it.
I know. I think it's the whole scenario here because he wants to be a main event. PBC's probably saying you don't have a belt. You have to be the co-main event. He's not going to get the money he would get if he's the main event. It's just the whole COVID situation is messing up everything right now.
Absolutely. All right, but we did have Spence versus Danny Garcia, and I don't know. It was honestly, it was a little upsetting to me. So, what are your thoughts?
What? I was impressed. I was impressed by both of them. Why were you upset about the way that fight went?
I just don't think people thought he looked dominant and good. This is 3 decisions in a row. To me, it doesn't look like Spence is looking the same. He used to knock out everyone. This is not the same Spence.
Okay, so let's break this down. How did you score it?
I had it 7-5. You had it 8-4.
Right. So, no, I had it at 7-5. You had it 8-4.
Yes.
Yeah. So we both had it like pretty close fights. We thought Danny was in the fight. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and Danny did what Danny does. He came back a little stronger in the end, which he usually does in his boxing fights. He starts off slow. He needed to start off fast.
The problem, what he said after the fight was Spence's jab was the difference maker. Yeah, this jab was big, but I also think Danny didn't let his hands go. Like when Danny was throwing effective counter combinations, not just one
Spence
counter.
Backed up.
Yes, when he was throwing 2, 3, 4 counters at a time, not just a single right hand or a single left hook, he was looking good. And he couldn't get his left hook off because of Spence's awkward southpaw stand. I think he should have tried the left hook to the body instead of trying to go to the head every time. There was a lot of things he could have done, but that being said, Danny Garcia looked good. He's still one of the top guys at 147 for sure.
Yeah. First time saying this on video. If Spence fought that fight against Crawford, Crawford would probably win a decision against him.
I don't. Go ahead. Continue.
I just think that with someone like Crawford, you can't fight like that. You got to be. I don't know. I don't know. He seemed off to me, and people thought he looked dominant. I think he did have ring rust. That was just my opinion.
I don't know, man. I don't think that was the performance that makes you go, that the Crawford beats him. I didn't find that. I think if you were Team Spence coming into this fight, this did nothing but push you more towards Team Spence. If you're Team Crawford, I think you're still Team Crawford. Just Spence just looks like the guy he's always looked like. He boxes you out, tries to get the stoppage, but doesn't go for broke. Like the difference between Crawford and Spence is at welterweight, Crawford looks for a knockout. Spence doesn't.
Yeah, and it's just I feel like sorry to say MMA, but he's turning into a George St. Pierre of boxing. Like he used to finish people at the beginning, and now he's going into these decisions, which I used to love about Spence. He had that killer instinct, and now you can't even finish Mikey Garcia.
That's the fight that I think would make me think, wow, there's no way he beats Bud. If I'm in Spence camp, which we all know I'm Team Bud. Mikey came up 2 weight divisions. He started his career at 126, maybe 122. There's no way this man should have gone 12 rounds with you. That's the one that sticks in my head. Is like, what are we doing here? But Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, these are real welterweights. These are guys that they've never been stopped before. Porter's been down once or twice in his career, but they've never been stopped.
And that being said, you got to give Spence, I will give him the credit. And this is coming from a huge Spence fan. He's my favorite boxer right now, so don't think I'm hating on him. People are going to think I'm on the Bud train. That ain't happening, boys. That ain't happening. I just think like he could be fighting better competition, and he's looked better against Danny Garcia than Keith Thurman did, and who else fought him? Sean Porter.
Yeah, we got to give Spence some credit though. He took a year and a half almost off because of his car accident. If you don't know, he was in a really horrific car accident about a year and a half ago, and was ejected from his car at high speeds, and people thought he was going to die, but he ended up not having any life-altering injuries. And he took a real guy. He took on Danny Garcia, former welterweight champion, former unified junior welterweight champion. Not some bum, a really good contender. So I give him respect for that.
Absolutely. But let's get into this weekend's fights. Not so much on the card, except the main event.
Actually, we got Huey Fury taking on Marius Wack. If you don't remember, Huey is the younger cousin of Tyson. He hasn't really lived up to the hype that he was built because he had the Fury name. I think he got knocked out by Pulev. If not, he got beat pretty bad. And he also lost to Joseph Parker. Marius Wack, you might remember, had a really tough fight with Dillian White over in Saudi Arabia on the Joshua Ruiz undercard. So it's going to be an interesting fight. Wack is like 40 years old now. Huey should get the win, but it should be a bit of it's a heavyweight fight. It should be entertaining.
Sounds like you got a thing for Huey.
I got a thing for the Furies, man.
You just spoke the most ever on YouTube about Huey Fury.
On any channel ever.
Any channel ever. So you feel proud of yourself.
Huey, if you're out there, man, come on the show, man. We'll give you a shout out. We'll give you a bell.
Now, in the real main event, let's get ready to rumble.
The unified, once defeated Anthony AJ Joshua is taking on Kubrat the Pie.
Defeated. He lost to the kid from Up.
Cool. Yeah, he definitely did that. He definitely did lose that to Andy Ruiz. Taking on Kubrat the Pie Pulev.
Imagine if Pulev beat him. Imagine if he lost to Ruiz, the kid from Up. And imagine if he lost to Shakar from Aladdin next. Like, shit.
Dude. Do you remember when Pulev was getting in trouble on social media for kissing that reporter just randomly walked up to her and kissed her? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. He's a creepy man.
Anyways, how do you see this fight going?
Honestly, this should be an outcoming party to show what Joshua is about. He's going to have an old school performance. He's going to knock him out in under 8.
So if you aren't familiar with Pulev, I want you to go check out the highlights from the Klitschko fight. I think he hit the canvas 4 or 5 times. He couldn't. Klitschko couldn't miss with his left hook. It just was there. Kubrat has this weird wide stance where he kind of has his lead hand out. The left hook is going to be there. Joshua's just going to walk him down with the jab. He's going to find left hooks all night. He's got to have him out within 5 or 6. If it goes past 6, I think Tyson Fury's going to be licking his chops saying, "What are we doing here? This is just food for me."
Absolutely, but it should be a good fight. I just don't see it anything hard for Joshua, or it shouldn't be at least. But we've seen him choke before, and worse things have happened. I just don't think Pulev's the one to do it.
Yeah, we said the same thing about the Ruiz fight too, but
I had a feeling with Ruiz though.
I thought it was going to be a straight up squash match. You seen Ben Askren squish those watermelons with his arms?
Yeah, me and Reese both thought that like something's going to happen here, and it happened.
If Joshua loses to Pulev, it might be time to call it a career. I'm being real.
Oh yeah, he'd have to, but there'd be another automated rematch, right?
I don't want to hear about no boxing politics. If he loses, it's it. That's it. And if he wins in dramatic fashion, we have to see Fury Joshua in England early 2021. We have to.
But just take this in. Imagine, out of all people we've talked about, made fun of, and ridiculed, we've probably destroyed Pulev's name. Imagine if this man comes out and beat Joshua.
Bro, we went. I think we went and went
hard
hard
in the face.
we went harder on Pulev than we went on Dominic Reyes. So if Pulev pulls this off, we can't talk anymore. It's it. That's it.
It ended the combat hour right there.
Pulev, don't kill our channel, bro. Don't do it.
Don't do it to us. Anyway, I want to shout out one more thing before we wrap this up. It was nice to see such a crowd in that arena for the Spence fight. I thought that was really nice.
Yep. It's definitely kind of, it was nostalgic. We hadn't seen that. Has there been any crowds in any MMA fights yet?
No, I don't.
No.
I think there's been a couple, but I'm not in other organizations, like small, but nothing like that.
Right. It was nice. I think it had 20,000. It seats about 80. It's a huge football stadium. They had some ground seating as well, but 20,000. A lot of people were there.
They should have did like 5,000 to start, but still, it was nice.
Texas, man. Texas.
All right, we're wrapping her up today.
All right, we're out.